Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Today, we're actually diving into a real world case study, working with a business owner and how they moved from cash flow chaos toward clarity and peace of mind. But first, let's start with a verse that reminds us of this, and that is Proverbs 19:20. That says, "Listen to counsel and receive instruction that you may be wise and later in life." And this verse really reminds us that wisdom comes from learning, listening, and applying the wise principles and counsel we get, especially when it comes to our finances and business. This story is going to show you how principles like profit first and cash flow stewardship and smart decision making can really unlock lasting profit. Okay, so let's dive in. My name is Jacob Curtis. I'm a CPA, a certified profit first professional, and a financial guide. My mission is really simple, and that's to help business owners like you finally get paid, master cash flow, and run a business that gives you freedom. I started Curtis Accounting Solutions because most business owners don't need more spreadsheets. They just need a plan that actually works, even with inventory, seasonal sales, and some cash flow chaos. So if that sounds familiar, sounds like you're in the right place. Drop comments, hit the like button, share the video, and follow along. So recently I spoke with a client. For the sake of these purposes, we're going to name her Noel. She's a business owner, and she had just come back from a career fair with some promising hires lined up. And their long-term dream was to really expand to multiple locations. But right now they're kind of stuck. The winter months brought almost no sales for them. Competitors kept underbidding to win their jobs. And while they wanted to grow, the cash flow simply wasn't there yet. And this is where the stewardship and practical strategies actually come in. So we realized expenses were already cut to the bone. They were already running very lean. The only real lever left was their pricing. And we discussed what it would look like during the busy season to add rush fees for last minute jobs, and during the slow seasons to actually use targeted discounts to bring in the steady work. That way, instead of sitting idle in the winter and being way busy in the summer months, they're actually able to kind of smooth the work out over the course of the year, and they'd still be able to cover the payroll in those peak months. And they'd earn more for urgent projects. Profit comes from pricing correctly, not just by volume. So next, we looked at their revenue growth beyond what their core services are and products are today. And they were excited about the idea of storage rentals, like rental storage space for boats and RVs and things like that. And a long-term plan that could bring in some steady cash flow during those winter months or even some slower months in the spring and the fall. Closer to home, we talked about offering auto and truck upholstery services and products to keep their revenue flowing when the boating work that they usually work on is slowed down. And we even explored educational workshops and online content that they could provide for fees to teaching the skills that they already had to create a new revenue stream. This moves really strengthen and stabilize not just one season, but help them throughout the entire year. So there's no single season that controls the business. Even though their expenses were lean, we still talked through a simple cost saving structure. First, we want to review your subscriptions, right? Just $29 here and $49 there adds up pretty fast. Second, you want to negotiate with the suppliers and vendors. Loyalty and volume can really earn discounts if you ask. And third is to streamline your processes. Wasted time is wasted cash. Cost reduction isn't about just cutting things to the bone. It's about cutting out the waste. So every dollar serves the mission that you have for your business. Then came a major opportunity that they brought up. A competitor in the area was preparing to retire and sell a business. The company specialized in slipcovers and had strong marina and dealership relationships and came with some valuable equipment. The asking price was $500,000. It sounded a little too promising, but before rushing in, we needed to slow down and do the math, because expansion without carefully considering all different aspects can sometimes lead to some pretty bad situations. So we talked through it, and I advised them to request at least 3 years of tax return, profit and loss statements, balance sheets, and we also needed a list of all the equipment, employee histories, and their top customers and vendors. And when we get that back, we'll review what it all says, right? Numbers tell the truth. A $500,000 deal might look really good, but you have to do your due diligence to reveal whether it's actually a blessing or a burden. Wise stewardship means checking before you actually take the leap. And finally, we addressed the foundation, and that's cash flow clarity. We set up some profit first allocations, making sure that we've allocated profits and percentages across the different accounts from profit, owners pay, taxes, and their operating expenses. We also planned a seasonal reserve fund. So during those slow months, there is some money set aside during those busier months to cover those slower months. And so when we combine that with their flexible pricing, this rhythm really gives some peace of mind and positions them for business growth even during the slower seasons. So what do we take away from all this? First, profits start with pricing, not with volume. Second, diversification strengthens your stability. Third, due diligence protects your future. And finally, capital clarity fuels the expansion. Again, remember Proverbs 19:20, listen to counsel and receive instructions so that you may be wise in your life. And I'm not saying this to take my counsel, but also to seek out others and figure out what they're looking for. This client, Noel, leaned into the counsel, now has a really clear path forward, what they need to do, and hopefully you can too. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or need assistance with managing your company's finances, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you turn inventory chaos into some predictable profit and experience some real financial freedom. You can schedule a call by scanning the QR code or going to my website listed there or clicking the link in the comments below. And don't forget to follow me, Jacob Curtis CPA and Curtis Accounting Solutions on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.